Good afternoon. Thank you. This is the El Paso Community College Board meeting. Today is February 23rd, and it is the time
It's 4:26.
4:26. Thank you for your patience. We ran a little behind schedule. Ms. Pam?
A Facilities and Finance Committee of the Board of Trustees of the El Paso County Community College District will be held on Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, beginning at 4 p.m. This meeting will be held at the Administrative Service Center Boardroom, number 200, El Paso, Texas, 79925. The audio-video feed can be found at youtube.com/GoEPCC. Related materials for the meeting can be accessed at the following link, epcc.edu/administration/Board of Trustees.
So again, welcome everyone. We're glad you're here. And would you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. I will note at the start of this that Mr. Haggerty and Ms. Pena are not present this evening, and Mr. Uxer will be participating remotely. Mr. Uxer?
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Robles?
Present.
Ms. Sanchez?
Here.
Dr. Graham?
Here.
Ms. Naheda?
Here.
We have a quorum?
Do we have
We have a quorum present in the room.
Thank you.
We have no one that has signed up for public comment during this meeting, Dr. Graham. So I'll go straight to item 5.1. Mr. Paulo Perez, Program Manager, ECM, will provide an update briefing on the progress of the Combined Fee Revenue Improvement Bonds Series 2016 program. Briefing items will include, but are not limited to, a general update including schedule and budget for all 6 projects, as well as an overall bond schedule and budget update.
Okay, sir, what's the good news?
Lots of it, actually. Good afternoon, Dr. Serrata and Dr. Graham, board members. I'll start the presentation by showing you this picture. It's a very nice picture the Aero sent to us from their drone, and it shows the EPCC letters up already. And I thought you'd like to look at it. And when it came down to decide on what pictures to show you today, I pretty much realized that I've show you just about every single angle of every single room of every building that we worked on. So I thought it might be a good idea to show you some of the projects, mainly the 2 remaining ones at night, because that's certainly something I haven't showed you yet, and I thought it would be interesting for you all to see. So without any further delay, here's a picture of the Rio Grande project at night. And one thing I do want to mention, because I don't want you to be concerned about it, is if you notice the EPCC letters are lit in red, which is a big no-no, but apparently this is the way that they were set up. And so we have the manufacturer come in on Friday, give a training session to the college and change the colors. I thought I could do it. I actually stole the remote for the lights, but I just couldn't get it to work. So unfortunately, it shows in red, but hopefully you'll understand. This is another picture looking down towards the Plaza Hotel downtown. As you can tell, it's a very attractive building, and it looks really good. Another thing I'd like to mention too is that, let me see if this laser here works. These lights here, the electrician's trying, you'll see on the remaining items in a minute, there's some electrical items remaining. One of them, these lights are not coming on, so they are working on that. And this EPCC letters here, these EPCC letters will be lit up like the one above with the teal colors, but we still got to work on the change order for that. That kind of fell through the cracks a little bit, but we certainly on our radar now. And other than that, as you can tell, it's a beautiful building, and even at night looks great. This is the area in front of the Queen House. This is another view with the trolley car in front of it. And so what's left? So basically, this actually applies to both projects. They're both occupied and fully functional. But like any other projects, this is nothing new. There's some things that obviously, until we're done. I have the boss that used to say, "Are we done or are we done?" And we're done, but we're not done. I mean, there's still some things that we do need to wrap up, and so we're keeping a close eye on the contractor, and we're actually rushing them to get these things done. But this is nothing unusual. It's fairly typical when you're wrapping up projects of this scale. So there's some finality punch lists we need to do. The few remaining electric items are more concerning towards the signs, the letters. And the complete commissioning work should be completed during spring break. And the testing, adjusting, and balancing the tab, they're still working on that, and hopefully by the end of March should be done. The security punch list, it got a little delayed, particularly because there's some parts they needed to get in the before Matrix, which is the contractor for the college, could actually do some of that work. The actual subcontractor for the contractor still has to do some minor items. The EMS the training will be in March. And as far as probably one of the more critical items that we do need to wrap up is the processing all the change orders. We've done quite a bit we've gone a bit of change orders that we got done, but there's still a few that need to be done. And in order to wrap up the conversations with the recontractor regarding liquidated damages, we need to get these change orders completed because some of these have days associated with them. Moving on, Valle Verde, here's some evening shots as well. This is a logo that I believe, Dr. Graham, you were the one that,
Yes.
and I'm real glad you did, by the way, because it does make an impact. The approach to this building is mostly from this side, from the parking lot. So it just jumps at you, and you can see it even from the distance. So this was a real good move, and it looks great. Here's another view, seeing the Flaxatorium. You can kind of, it's I don't know if you can see that in your monitor or not, but you can see the chairs, the Flaxatorium chairs back in there. And this is the north side, I'm sorry, beg your pardon, east side. And as you can tell, it's pretty well lit. And there's actually a few students there, and this was like at 9, 10 in the morning. There's still, at night, and there were still some students around. As far as what's left, this one is, I mean, for all practical purposes, just a little bit that we're lacking. We do need to reconcile IT punch list. The contractor, and I was promised that yesterday and they didn't get it, so I do need to follow up on that. Is all the comments they have on the punch list have been done. I'm glad to report the third floor electrical upgrades that were managed by fiscal plant, they were completed today, and that was a big undertaking. It was a major project. There's very few issues left from the commissioning agent. Made a lot of progress on that. The one that I really, and I think it will be done before the grand opening, and they'll probably do it during spring break, there's a video wall right by the entrance. And meaning there's a bunch of monitors that completed together, they make an image. And it's going to look really good. But unfortunately, and honestly, I don't fully understand that part of it, because we had this order for 6 months, but they finally came back and said, well, these items are discontinued, so we had to order again. Long story short, we should have these in place by spring break, but it took longer than we anticipated. There's few security items punch list, mostly related to the hardware in the entrances, and we do need a final punch list and a final landscaping punch list. And there's some marker board adjustments we're having to make so the image can be blocked, not blocked, but the way a couple of items we have, not a couple, more than a couple of items, we had the projector project into the marker board, but there was a seam in the middle which really didn't look really good. So we're working on moving those marker boards where the image does not have a seam right in the middle of it. Other than that's about it. As far as the budget, we do the increase for Valle Verde obviously was the budget went up as far as contingency, just because of the negotiations we had with HB Construction. We were able to close 3 projects, and the other ones, to close the whole bond budget, we're waiting on, obviously, Valle Verde and Rio Grande to be complete with all the POs closed, and then we'll be able to consolidate those as well. But we've done pretty good progress on the budget part of it. This really has not changed, same from last time, so any questions?
Just on the items that are security items, what does that entail? Or is this security of the students, security of the?
Oh, no,
of the,
yeah, I should
technology,
have elaborated on that. It's basically what we're talking about, security, particularly on Valle Verde. There's some hardware that, in order to lock the door and release it with the cars, there's some hardware they're still working on, but I understand we should be done with that fairly soon. But everything, the cameras are in place, the recorders are in place. I believe that at Rio Grande, they're just recording to the machines, they're not recording to the cloud, to the server. So those kind of things, but the buildings are locked, and most of them are accessed by card, and they're safe, and the cameras are recording.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone else have a question? One? Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate. I'm glad you took those nighttime pictures. They look nice. I think that's.
So, is there a need for executive session? So there is no need for an executive session at this meeting, so you could
Our
call
meeting
for
is
a motion
adjourned.
to adjourn.
Okay. We will start the next one pretty soon.
You need 5 minutes, gentlemen?
That was quick, I know. That was fast.
This one was.